Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Bold and the Beautiful Monday, September 1st recap. Liam admits biggest mistake. Luna's ominous Electra threat. The Bold and the Beautiful B&B recap for Monday, September 1st, reveals that Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, admitted his biggest mistake while Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, made an ominous Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace, threat. Atlee Finnegan's, Naomi Matsuda, Place, Sheila Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, kept trying to convince Luna that Electra and Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, were taking things to the next level tonight. Luna doubted that a prude like Electra would give Will what he wanted and played up her own night with Will. However, Sheila pointed out that Will didn't know he was in bed with Luna or even that she was alive. Luna insisted Will would know soon and vowed not to let anyone stand in the way of their future, especially not Electra. At the Forrester guest house, Electra slowed herself down since she wanted to savor every moment. Will and Electra shared a lovely first time in bed together, but he couldn't stop thinking about the masked mystery woman afterward. It seemed like Will wanted to confess what happened, but he just told Electra that he'd always love her and looked guilty over what he was hiding. At Forrester Creations, Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, asked to speak with Liam alone. After some talk about Liam's scary ordeal, he pointed out that he was there to stay now. Carter spoke about his future with Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and let Liam know the wedding was still happening soon. In the design office on Monday's B&B episode, Ivy Forrester, Ashley Brewer, gave Hope updates on her own pitch for a reunion with Liam, which he turned down because Hope was the only woman he wanted. Ivy gave Hope a nudge to leave Carter and go back to Liam, who eventually joined Hope while Beth Spencer, Jordan Gracie, was trying on some new fashion styles. That gave Liam a chance to make another speech about how Carter thought he was the one for Hope, but Liam felt he was the one instead. Liam also confessed that his biggest mistake was letting Hope go and not seeing what was right in front of him. When Beth appeared, she gushed over how happy she was when they felt like a family. Liam hugged Beth and wholeheartedly agreed with her, so Hope was no doubt left even more torn about her next chapter. Labor Day didn't bring any peace to the Forrester and Spencer families. Instead, it was a day packed with confessions, confrontations, and foreboding promises that could send shockwaves through Los Angeles. Monday's episode unfolded like a slow-burn thriller, quiet moments giving way to explosive realizations and ominous warnings that no one could afford to ignore. Liam's heavy heart. The episode opened with Liam Spencer alone in the Cliff House, staring out at the waves. His usually confident demeanor was stripped away, and all that remained was a man drowning in regret. Flashbacks played across his mind, Hope's smile, Steffi's disappointment, and his own countless waffling choices. When Wyatt dropped by, the air was heavy with unspoken tension. Wyatt, as always, tried to lighten the mood, joking about how Liam needed to shave or at least eat something other than takeout. But Liam wasn't in the mood for jokes. Instead, he finally admitted the one thing he'd been avoiding for weeks. "Wyatt, I made the biggest mistake of my life." The confession stopped Wyatt cold. Liam wasn't just talking about his marriage to Hope or his inability to commit to Steffi. He was speaking about his entire pattern of indecision, his endless cycle of bouncing between two women who deserved better. Wyatt, for once, didn't sugarcoat things. He reminded Liam that mistakes only define a man if he keeps repeating them. But Liam's haunted eyes suggested he wasn't sure he'd ever escape the trap he'd built for himself. Hope draws her line. Meanwhile, at Forrester Creations, Hope was busy sketching designs when Brooke entered the office. Brooke tried to offer maternal advice, but Hope was no longer the fragile girl she once was. She calmly told Brooke that her life could no longer revolve around waiting for Liam to make up his mind. Hope admitted she loved him, but she was tired of being his safe place when things fell apart with Steffi. She didn't mention Thomas, but her eyes lingered a little too long on the family portrait hanging on the wall. Brooke noticed, and quietly worried that her daughter might drift back into Thomas's arms. Still, Hope stood firm. "I'm done living in Liam's shadow. If he can't see what's right in front of him, that's on him." Brooke pressed her lips together, knowing that this newfound strength in Hope could either lead to liberation or another round of heartbreak. Luna's uneasy encounter. Across town, Luna was navigating her own storm. She'd been working closely with RJ, their chemistry undeniable as they bounced ideas for a new sustainable fashion line. But the peace of their budding romance was shattered when Electra appeared at Forrester, her presence like a dark cloud blotting out the sun. Electra sauntered into the design room, her tone sweet but laced with poison. She complimented Luna's work, but each word dripped with sarcasm. RJ immediately sensed trouble and tried to step in, but Luna insisted on facing Electra directly. Electra leaned in close, her voice barely above a whisper but sharp enough to slice through Luna's confidence. "You think you've won? You haven't even begun to see what I'm capable of." Luna's expression hardened, but her trembling hands betrayed her fear. This wasn't just professional rivalry. Electra was issuing a threat that felt deeply personal. RJ demanded to know what Electra meant, but she only smirked and left the room, her heels echoing down the hallway like warning bells. Luna was shaken, and RJ pulled her into his arms, promising to protect her. Still, the look in Luna's eyes suggested she knew Electra's words weren't idle. Something darker was brewing. Ridge and Steffi clash. Back in the CEO office, Ridge and Steffi were caught in yet another father-daughter debate. Ridge wanted Steffi to focus on her safety and her children, but Steffi was restless. She felt that Liam's regretful words and his hovering presence meant danger for her marriage to Finn. Steffi admitted she was torn. She loved Finn with all her heart, but Liam's declarations, especially now that he admitted his greatest mistake, kept echoing in her mind. Ridge grew frustrated, telling Steffi not to let history repeat itself. He warned her that waffling was a Spencer specialty, and if she didn't set boundaries, Liam would keep pulling her into his spiral. Steffi clenched her jaw, insisting that she was committed to Finn. But her body language told a different story. Ridge could see it, and so could anyone watching. Steffi's heart wasn't entirely in one place. Bill's calculations. Over at Spencer Publications, Bill was sipping his signature glass of scotch while Katie stopped by for an update on his latest business deal. But their conversation quickly shifted toward family drama. Bill had heard rumblings about Liam's breakdown and couldn't resist weighing in. Bill grumbled that his son needed to man up and stop sabotaging his own happiness. Katie, however, had sympathy for Liam, pointing out that Bill's ruthless ways hadn't exactly set the best example. Bill didn't deny it, but he doubled down on his philosophy. Spencer men fight for what they want.